All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Trading Bitcoin with your host, Vays, coming to you live from Scotland, UK. Never been here before, so having a great time. It's a little bit chilly out. I'm right on the beach. I am in, I think it's called Truth. I really should know better, right? Should have looked it up. Go to Google Maps. Where exactly am I? Is the question. I am, Troon. I am in Troon, Scotland. It's about 40 minutes southwest of Glasgow. And right after this video, and I'm going to keep this short, I'm going to go out exploring, and then tomorrow might go over to Edinburgh. And then from here, my next destination will be Prague. You can see my friend's dog right there in the back. Literally, the beach is right behind me. It's way too cold to swim, but kite surfers are loving it. You can also see the wind behind me with those trees. And let's go to the charts. Let's see what's going on. Today is Friday, and another week has come to an end. Man, does time seriously fly. Okay, here is our weekly chart. I like the fact that this current week is likely to end with a wick on the bottom side of the candle. That is a sign of strength. In a perfect world, the dip would have went and hit the 200-week moving average, but nothing in life is ever perfect. So we have to know sound. Yeah, this should be sound. There should be a sound issue. It should be sound. Hold on. There should be sound. Why isn't there sound? I have sound. Should be sound. Yeah, there should be sound. Yeah, in a perfect world, we would have come down and hit the 200-week moving average. That did not happen. So we have to work with the situation as best we can. Here is our allocation chart. This allocation chart got seriously threatened in being stopped out, but it did not get stopped out. You can see how the low on this candle was 28,578, and the low on this candle was 28,602. So we did not create a new low. Now, just because a new low is created by a couple of dollars, it's not necessarily enough to scare you out of your position, but it considerably changes your outlook on how confident you should be in that position. We have 11 hours to go in current candle. And here's how I'm currently looking at the situation. If next candle is breaking the top of current candle, we will add to our bullish position. Right there, okay? I am not gonna go in on this candle, but the moment we even go into the vicinity of that area, is it possible that in the next 11 hours we rally all the way up? It's possible, but the weekend is also coming. So to play it safe, because next candle being breaking this line would actually start increasing the short-term moving average. Okay, because remember, the short-term moving average is only 3 candles. So it's this candle, this one, and the next one. And if the next candle is trading above this line, this moving average will now start to tick up. And we will have the price of Bitcoin above a short-term moving average that starts to rise. And we also have plenty of room because we are grossly oversold. I remain viewing the situation as a dead cat bounce, guys. This is still a dead cat bounce to me until we get to the vicinity of $36,000 and start to break it. So what I am going to do is, these arrows are starting to get seriously cluttered. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this arrow over because nothing really changes. And I'm going to delete this one. They're just in the way. I still have concerns on a daily time scale that we are even short-term bullish. In order for that concern to be alleviated, I would need the price of Bitcoin to be above $31,500, $300, however you want to slice it. Okay. So right now, the current daily candle is just a doji candle, but it did take us off the lows. All right. The intra day low is still holding at 25,000. We did get our MRI buy. I really do not like this low daily close, but it will not matter if the price of Bitcoin is able to close above the prior swing high. And that is what I'm waiting for. Could 30K become the new 6K? I don't know what that means. I don't understand your question. The last time there was a consistent 6K, we had a 50% crash. So I don't know what that means. We never really used 6K as support. We've only used 6K as resistance. So could 30K become the new consolidated 6K for a 50% crash? I'm going to say no. And the reason is because the 6K became support within 2 months after the all-time high. Here's the all-time high at 20,000. And this was in December. And then right here is 6K in February. So we went from 20K to 6K in 2 months. And then it was support for the next 6 to 7 months. We didn't go to 30K within 2 months of the first high or the second high. After the first high, the bottom was, well, actually we did. I take that back. We did hit 30K within 2 months. And we did it again within 2 months. I do take that back. But here's the thing. Here's why I didn't see it this way. I didn't see it this way is because we have broken significantly lower than 30K. We've already hit 25K. And there's a big difference with that. And this was way more consistent. This is different. And I don't like this as a descending triangle because the top also came here. We've also spent way more time. Time matters. The breakdown took place in November, less than 1 year. And it's already been a year. So this is the first high in April. We can even say the first high was in March because that was the high close. And this is already going into June. May is already over and we're still rallying up. It's a really weird situation. It's just a really weird situation. I am opening the possibility of a move down to 22,000, but I am also buying this dip because I have absolutely no idea if we're going to go lower than 25,000. I have no clue whatsoever. But because I don't know, I am liking this dip as it is. I don't know how people like expect traders to know the future. We don't. It's no different than a card player. There's a reason why one person is better at poker than another person. And that person has no idea what the next card is. He has no idea what you're holding. But he can make probabilistic guesses as to what you're holding. and he can make probabilistic guesses as to what card is likely to come out next. That's all trading is. It's managing your risk capital and also having a statistical probability of what is to come. And I don't understand why anyone expects anything more than that. Like, it's just kind of crazy that someone expects a trader to actually know the future. If they did, they would be the richest person on earth. So before I go on and look at other markets, the financial summit is happening in the Dominican Republic, August 1st to 6th. It's an event specific for financial professionals like traders, money managers, exchanges. So come and join us, and we will have an amazing time as we rented out an entire castle in the Dominican Republic. Please follow us on YouTube, trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Currently at 121. Short-term chart, not very interesting. I'm gonna skip it. I like the fact that we supported the MRI support line. We have not yet broken the MRI resistance line. We have contracted this. See, originally we had the MRI resistance line all the way up there and all the way down here. And then we had a higher one and a higher one, and now we have a lower resistance line. Once one of these things breaks, and man, I'm really liking this blue line. I am bullish here. I like this consolidation, and I like the probability of this breakout. It is now a lot stronger than it was in the past, because look how far above we are of all the moving averages on this 1 hour chart. And the shorter term, the intermediate term is going to cross over the longer term once we break above this line. So I am kind of bullish here. I do think we're going to break out a little bit over the weekend. Someone asked me to look at the quarterly chart. Here's the monthly chart. Oh, that's not quarterly. Sorry, that's 4 month. That's the quarterly chart. The quarterly chart looks very ugly. That is a red star candle. That is not a good sign. And the quarterly chart does not look good. But I don't really look at the quarterly chart all that often. The monthly chart is going to cross over on the moving averages. That is not a good sign either. So lots of things are problematic. Let's take a look at the funding rate. The funding rate has gone into a slightly bullish direction. Wow, that wick is wild. That wick during COVID is wild. Man, we're really due for, a bit of an up run, where the funding rate could somewhat reset and balance out all this negativity. This is probably the longest stretch without a single yellow bar above zero Bitcoin might have ever had. I don't know of a longer stretch. It doesn't look like it's there. This is the longest bearish stretch we've had in the funding rate on this indicator. That is crazy. Eventually, it all balances back. which includes GBTC. Eventually, this premium of GBTC is going to go to zero unless GBTC grayscale has been hacked. That's the only way it's not going to zero, because this Bitcoin is fully backed. It's fully backed. GBTC is fully backed by Bitcoin in cold storage. There's absolutely no reason why it should have a negative premium other than traders being stupid. But traders were also, well, they're not stupid. They were opportunistic by taking advantage of the positive premium, and they created the shares. But once the bull market comes, it will rally back up. It's these bear markets that continue to put selling pressure, and there's just too many shares to go around. But eventually, the supply of Bitcoin will take that out of play. There's not that much Bitcoin to go around, and no new BTC shares will be created because no one is dumb enough to buy into the trust with other options available. So once the bull market comes and people start buying GBTC to take advantage of the premium is going to go away. So you do get an extra 30% return at some point, hopefully next year, because it's now been an entire year in negative premium. All right, quick peek at the other markets, and then I'm going to go sightseeing a little bit. I'm still bullish on oil. Remain bullish on gold. We held the support line. So let's see if we can break out in gold. The stock market today is starting to pump a little bit. That explains the bullish Bitcoin price. As you guys know, I'm still bearish on the stock market a bit before being positive. And I am keeping an eye on the Russian ruble versus the US dollar. This is, again, completely wild. We have just broken the MRI support line. And people certainly have a grossly biased view on the hatred towards Russia. And it's understandable, of course. But you have to understand that it is a biased view that you have. It's an understandable biased view, but it's still a biased view. And everyone is telling me that the real exchange rate in Russia is over 100, which is also not true. But I do understand that it's very difficult to get your money in and out of Russia. If you are a Russian citizen and you have money in Europe, you have a big problem. If you are a Russian who wants to get your money out of Russia, you have a big problem. That problem. Oh, I did something bad. Okay, here we go. I'm back. That problem was, of course, created by the US government in order to punish the Russian citizens, which didn't actually have anything to do with the invasion, but that's how the American government operates. And you have a big problem converting. So the exchange rate in Russia is obviously way higher than the global exchange rate. But Europe has no choice but to buy gas and oil from Russia in rubles, and that would significantly support the ruble. I don't even need this line anymore. I think, oh, that was the line, that was the invasion line. So there it is. This is when Russia invaded. So look how much stronger it is. This is significant, really significant. The next critical area, now that we've broken the MRI support line, the next critical area for the ruble to appreciate to is here, 55. If the ruble can get stronger than 55, that would be seriously wild. Let me see the Ukrainian currency. I am surprised that the Ukrainian currency has not hit hyperinflation. I'm surprised. You can see this consolidation, and I think it's about to break. I think when people realize that Russia has won this war, I think the Ukrainian currency is just gonna significantly hyperinflate. The chart is telling me that's gonna happen as well. The chart of the Ukrainian currency looks like it's ready for hyperinflation. Something like this. Nick is saying nothing will improve in Russia until Putin and his. My view is this: like, if Putin is not the president, the next president is not going to be as nice to the West or to Ukraine or to Europe. Whoever takes over for Putin is, I would say, 50 to 75% more likely to use a tactical nuke on Westerners, whether it's Ukrainians, whether it's Finnish, whether it's Germans, it doesn't, whether it's Americans. The escalation to a real war begins after Putin is no longer in office. And Putin no longer being the president of Russia could happen quickly. It can happen next week, but most likely it will happen on the next election because Putin is not in good enough health to run again. And these, childlike 5-year-old dreams that Putin is going to get overthrown and replaced by, I don't know, maybe Hunter Biden's son or, I don't know, Obama. These dreams are fantasy, complete and utter fantasy. But hey, keep dreaming, keep hoping. PM, Putin is clearly dying. Putin is clearly not in good health. I agree. And the oligarchs won't let another warmonger take over the country. So I think you have a really crazy misunderstanding of Russian oligarchs. A Russian oligarch is another word for a Russian rich person or a Russian entrepreneur. And considering the West just took away all their money and their wealth, which makes Putin very happy, because now these oligarchs, these wealthy oligarchs, as you like to call them, that would have had the money and the capital to overthrow Putin, no longer have the wealth and the capital, and they now hate the West for taking away their wealth. So I don't exactly understand what you were expecting from these oligarchs who just had their wealth confiscated. But again, my logical reasoning versus other people's fantasies. And also, if these people had any power to begin with, they would have been president and not Putin. And all the people behind Putin that are in line to be the next president of Russia are a lot more pro-war with the West than Putin is. So again, you can keep dreaming for, I don't know, Nancy Pelosi to be the next president of Russia, maybe Christine Lagarde, I don't know, who else do we have? Maybe the president of New Zealand will suddenly get placed by Klaus Schwab as the next president of Russia. And she will sign all the documents to join, the Kumbaya of the World Economic Forum. But there is reality, and then there are these fantasies by the West as to what can actually happen in Russia. So we'll all see, but I don't hold my breath on a woke leader like a Justin Trudeau taking over Russia. Good luck with that. Russia tried creating good ties with the EU and they were laughed at. So again, good luck. Good luck. I wish the EU the best in breaking Russia up into 5 different countries, each one with a Zelensky in charge. But like, good luck. I wish you the best to try and achieve that. Why the strawman arguments that someone from the US will be the leader of Russia? Well, that's the only way Russia would be accepted into the West, is if it's a Western leader. Again, like a Zelensky, someone that is fully controlled by the US or Europe, which is becoming one and the same. The United States was its own country under Trump, but under Biden, it's basically Europe. What chances do you give Trump for running for president again in 2024? Very low. I give Trump a very low chance of running. Well, I give Trump maybe a 60% chance of running, but I give him like a 5% chance to win the 2024 election. I do not see Trump as president of America. I mean, if where to hide if nukes break, probably nowhere. South of Brazil, Argentina. I mean, you want to be on the opposite side of the world. Africa, South Africa, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Because it's not a nonsense strawman argument. Either Russia has a leader controlled by the West, or Russia is going to be the enemy of the West. I mean, there is no in between. There is no making peace with Russia at this point, because if the West was not able to deal and make peace with Putin, the next leader is going to be at least 2 to 3 times more aggressive towards the West than Putin was. So that's how I see reality. You can disagree with me, but that's how I see it. It has nothing to do with what I want to happen. It's just how I see the situation play out. Anyway, guys, I gotta go. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all on the next one.